Welcome to Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. This video will be whatever project I'm working on, and I don't do a separate, sometimes I do a separate openings for them, sometimes I don't. Again, it's just a summer opening, and I just wanted to throw one out there, and we'll blend it in. It's probably when I get a chance to sit down and do some videos. There's a lot of upcoming things that you're going to be seeing on these videos, summer projects or whatnot. Once I kind of get back in the shop for summer, right now that has been occupied a lot. So I hope you enjoy the channel, enjoy the videos, and subscribe and follow. So just jump right on in there. I'm going to do this again. I'm in the shop this morning. Excuse the air conditioner running. I want to bump it up. I'm going to start this over. I got a phone call about some material and found a really good deal on what I want to do. So I may run and get it first next week because I'm sort of busy this week. Alright, couple things. I want to clear up about the last video, and I'm still working on the same project because I'm having to do some things because of what I have. So, but these hammers, I usually like to make them out of stainless, and they're 1/4-inch shafts. So let me get a couple of things for you and show you kind of what I felt like the problems was. And I did get a lot of good feedback from some of my subscribers about some of the potential problems I had. One thing is, you got to understand with running 1/4-inch diameter, it's really hard to put a center in it to support it, and also you got to be careful with your widths. As I said in the video, I'm not the world's best threader. I mean, I never threaded that much in my apprenticeship in the shop. So, and with the inserts, I just soon go in without trying to compound. I've tried both ways, and I seem to get as good results one way as the other. So now, with all that said, let's go back to what I learned and what the situation is. Okay, here we go. First thing, to start with, for my release, the biggest thing I have is this GT3 insert, and it's almost an 1/8 of an inch wide. Now, I like the GT3s because the blades and everything's a lot stronger for cutoff. But again, you take an 1/8 of an inch on a 1/4-inch diameter and take it down to approximately 165, 70 thousandths. So you're taking almost 100 thousandths out of the whole thing, or probably 50 on each side at least, and you're taking it, making it weak. That's one problem with especially a 1/4-inch and unsupported. So what I did after the episode, and you've seen it in the video, I took this little high-speed steel I had and ground me a little relief tool, and actually made it a little bit of a radius to it, so when it goes in, it would actually have a radius for it to land in and give it a little more strength. The second thing is, I was probably feeding about 4 thousandths per rail and being a little aggressive. And once, what I did after I figured out my problems is I went back and cut my my depth of cut down, to 2 thousandths, which is 1 mark, once I got about halfway down the depth. And that seemed to work pretty good. And another one of my commenters talked about video, and yeah, it is difficult, especially threading. So what I'm going to tell you is, because I trained people for most of my career at eating on CNCs, I sort of got used to it. But it's a little different animal training somebody to CNC and then doing a video on a lathe in the shop at home. But again, that's just a little opening for that. And to go ahead and follow up today, I'm starting to turn some brass down, and we'll cover that. I'm not going to go into all of what I'm doing. I'm just going to take a few clips of that and a few other things we're going to put in the video. So, but I just wanted to kind of give you an update. Again, thanks for watching, and those folks that commented, if you see this video, I'm not complaining, I'm really glad you did. Everybody, when you look at something, it just gives you a fresh set of eyes. So to those folks who commented, that was very positive, and I was very appreciative of it. So thank you. Now, I'm gonna feed trolls, as I always like to say. Let me turn this around where I can kind of see this. One of the things I'm doing, and you may ask why, I need a 1-inch piece of brass for my hammer. And this is something I've gotten. And before somebody says, why are you wasting this much brass? I'm going to say a kind of word. This is, I hate to say this is free to me brass. Basically what happened was, we had, when I worked at my day job, they used a lot of brass alloy hammers for various things down there. They really wouldn't let us even have steel hammers to keep, as Mr. Pete says, the hammer and chisel mechanics. So I got a bright idea one day. I went to the scrap barrel and got a couple of them where the handle was broke off and they was beat up, and brought them home to see if I could get some usable material out of them. And what I did was just cut them off and then put them in the lathe and try to get them a decently round shape or whatnot. So this is what I ended up with. It's a slug like this. Well, I'm needing to make a hammer for this friend of mine from work that I promised before I retired, and I didn't promise before I retired. He got himself on the list after I retired. And I've done some other stuff. He's a really nice guy, machinist, had done screw machine work. I really liked him, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this for him. Problem is, I don't have no brass around 1 inch. And this is what I've got, and it's free. So what I'm doing is machining it down, and this is going to be the right thickness that I'm going to use here. Basically, we'll cut it off for the tip. Now, I know this is a waste, but sometimes you have to use what you got if you're at home, and that's what I do. And on the subject, I just got a phone call from a local supplier, Stock Car Metals. There's a lot of racing organizations. In the past, I bought some material from a company called Metal Supermarkets over in Charlotte. Well, this company here supplies some of the racing people, and they have their offices over in Denver, North Carolina, which is close to Mooresville. Denver's about the same distance as Charlotte, or somewhat close to it, and you don't have to deal with the traffic. And I was inquiring about some 1-inch aluminum round, and he told me basically the price of it, which is a real good price for a 5-foot piece, about 20 bucks. So at the time of tax and all, about 25, and I can deal with that. That's pretty reasonable. So I'm gonna probably go up there next week and get some to replenish my stock of aluminum, because that's gonna be the way to go. So with no further ado, I'm going to take them on for a couple of cuts. I'll figure out where I'm at. Basically, that's what I'm doing. Taking a big chunk of aluminum, of brass, and just making a smaller chunk of brass out of it. And that's basically what I'm doing here. So I'll bring you back when I get it close and you know, show you kind of that's what I'm doing. What I did is so I could preserve as much of this as I can. This is the piece that's left. Again, this was a hammer. Not probably the most efficient use of material, I'll agree, but sometimes you have to do what you got to do. What I done is I just took it over to my little Harbor Freight bandsaw. Give it a little cut. Now I'm trying not to take no more off than I have to clean it up. And all this is fairly close. Just a little bit right out here in the edge. We'll make one more little pass. Again, when you're doing all this, like I say, this is not the most efficient use of material. And if you was to be doing this to make a living and to sell this to somebody and you're doing it in a quote, you obviously wouldn't do what I'm doing. But this is a home project, and again, it's more or less a gift. And there we go. So it is what it is. Let's see if I can break this corner right quick. Kind of hard when you got that little bit, those textures in it. Okay. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the machining you've seen, but kind of what the theory of this video here is more or less. Oh, you need some of these protectors. I made some. It is, you know, show what sometimes I do for things is to make things work. This should come out to be about a ½ inch. It's about 30 thousandths under a half, which is perfectly acceptable. And this is going to be the end of the hammer. So you see, this is what I made it out of. You know, again, I just had to use what I had, and this is a waste, and I agree. So, but we got to do it sometimes. One thing about acetylene is, I'll have to go back and get another drill in a minute, or Derlin, is, you know, it's messy and you can cut it with anything. So what I do is, what I found, because I've done a lot of it for other stuff, in home shop I found to basically just go fast as you can, RPM wise. And my lathe maxes out at about 1,000. That's what she's setting at right now. It's really not going to hurt nothing. So here we go. We're going to face it off. Screw it up. Face him off, true him up, turn the OD down. Again, this has got to be an inch. This is a little bigger. I think it's 1 1/8 inches. I have to check it right quick. I'm pretty sure it's 1 1/8 inches, 1 1/4 inches, one of the two. It's a little bigger than 1 inch. It's just a hair. It's 1 1/8 inches, so it's really only got that much to come off. We're going to turn her down about right there. All right, fire it up. I'm going to check the size, and this is just how quick this stuff works. And you can. An RPM's your friend with this stuff. Again, we're shooting for about 1 inch. We're like 20. Minus 20. 40. To do that, and I know I'm going to be a little big. You don't have as much pushback on this. You know, about 20 thousandths like I figured. This is it right here. Take a little 20 thousandths cut off. That stuff's fun because it really is. Yeah, we're right close. Normally we're right on it. That's all we need. Take us a file and get a steady file. Alright, now I'm going to set up, drill, and tap this. So there's no need me showing it. I just wanted to show a little quick. Again, you notice I've used the same insert for everything. Base the stainless off, everything. I mean, you know, if you're in a shop, home shop, you don't, you know, I know there's a lot of gurus, and theoretically you should do this, and theoretically you should do that, but, you know, guys, you're in a home shop, and you got, you know, you may not like the inserts. There's people who like to use the other ones, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just rode up with these, and I like them, and you collected a bunch of them, and you heard me splutter on about economics I don't know how many different times. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down and drill and tap it, and we'll let you be for a bit. Alright, things sometimes are deceiving, and that's part of the reason for me doing this video. It's not to repeat, but you noticed didn't feel right. Well, the only thing I've done is I went back and I keep some taps where they broke old, especially for stuff like this, and cut them off and regrind them for bottom taps. So what I did is I just went and grabbed a quarter 20 screw, check, see if I had threads. This stuff is real catchy and real easy to pull threads out. If it don't feel right, you need to, it's the old saying, back up 5 yards and punt. Because I went back to more of the standard drill with this. The only time I use a larger drill is on very tough material, stainless. The aluminum for the handle, Derlin, and the brass is all done by the chart to give me 75% threads. The stainless is drilled for 50 something because we're going to Loctite it. Alright, so there's that. Alright, this video and what I'm showing, a lot of things I'm not really showing what I'm doing because of what I'm making. It's more what I'm doing. And so one of the things I wanted to show is using one of these paint cups that I modified in an earlier video. And you know, this, how handy it is to have them handy laying around. And so we're hand tapping this too, because this is, again, I'll remind you, this is stainless steel. This is some tough material. Any given way to say it. I usually drill these really nice and big just because I'm not wanting any headaches. And, you know, obviously I'm to the point now. Don't definitely want to break a tap. And so you have to be sort of careful. It's mine right there. I'm not liking it. I mean, I like it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies because of that. It's being stainless, and this stainless is just in itself some pain to work with. And when something don't feel right, you need to stop. That's just the first rule of any tapping, but especially stainless steel. And I'm just going to go a little bit at a time. I think what I'm doing is I'm breaking through the other drill hole. Of course, drill cross drill. Alright. I believe that's done. Alright. Now, what I wanted to show was, I was mainly showing this, not what I'm doing, because obviously I've showed this before. The one thing that I'm going to remind you of, and part of the reason I'm making this video, is when you, in the home shop, when you're working with exotic materials, just like this stainless steel or whatnot, you really need to be careful with it, because it is some tough stuff. There's just no question about it. This actually a piece I ordered off of eBay from probably Stoner or somebody like that for a little odd and end jobs. And if I wouldn't have promised this hammer, I sure as crap wouldn't have done it. So I'm going to get out of this. So we'll talk to you in a minute. I thought I'd take you outside and show you my paint job. This video isn't about anyone, it isn't about what I was making, it was what I was doing. And I hope you enjoy it. Basically, I just kind of laid this stuff out, some stuff. It's a project I've done before. It's just something I've done for a friend, as usual. And you want to be able to, however the best way I'm going to put this, you want to be able to deal with some of this stuff. And like I explained, excuse me, my nose is itching. Stainless steel's a pain in the butt. You can hear my air conditioning running for case you're wondering. North Carolina's fairly hot today. It's not bad a day, but still humidity or whatever. It's kind of rough. And it's like I said, thought I'd just throw this in at the end. And I hope you guys enjoyed, excuse me, at the itches today. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I say, this is just kind of a continuation of the one I was doing the other day, and I had some troubles with the threading. And you know, and I just kind of wanted to know some follow-up, some other machining tips with stainless steel. So, guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Whatever we've done today, because usually I shoot a close and put together a montage at the end. So this is usually my way of saying thank you. Now, if I haven't said it enough, I will say it. Every subscriber I've got, I appreciate. Appreciate every view I get. Now, do we have the big channel? No. Do we want to have a big channel? Well, I'd be stupid saying I wouldn't be a little jealous if I didn't, but my mode of making these videos isn't to get rich. It is to have fun. So those come along, enjoy the videos and have fun with me, I appreciate it. But please do share it with your friends if they're not subscribers. And, you know, bring them over here and let us look at somebody else is doing this. You know, I'm a career machinist, and I've always liked to make things. So when I retired, now I really have plenty of time. Right now, you know, we've been kind of busy with some house projects and stuff, so that's slowed us up here for the last several months. But I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, please subscribe. Please tell your friends, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so very much. Have a great day, and we will see you in the next video when I make another one.